So it snowed. Yeah, that's not the most fun to work in cars in the snow. But here we are. So I got E30 axles, and I got, by surprise, these are some Christmas shopping, don't you mind that. So I got also trailing arms with, I guess, poly bushings, which kind of look cool. And a hub and bearings and whatever, but the only reason I got that whole assembly is because when I bought the hub, the guy said, oh yeah, I have the axles and everything, the boots might need to be replaced, which they do, you know, hopefully I'll have the patience to do that. But the reason that I got everything is because everything is seized on there. So right now, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try hammer the axles out. I don't have much faith that this is gonna work, but we gotta try, because after this, it's blowtorch time and I don't have one, it's gonna be a hassle, so let's just try what we can. Yo, this worked. So these are the axles I got. So yeah, this bushing actually isn't that bad. I mean, it is pretty dry rotted over here. Part of me just wants to run it like this and redo this later, but I don't want to have to buy new axles. This one is not looking too much better. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go see if this bolt pattern matches the axle stub that I have. The axle stub from the Z3 diff, right? It's big and it's got an extended spline so it can reach into the middle part of the diff or whatever, and it fits perfectly. All the holes line up. I don't know if you guys can see that properly, but all the holes line up. I could slap this on today maybe. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. Nice. I'm happy that that worked. Got it. Again, the rubber doesn't look the best, but the axles, is this supposed to be sort of frozen in like that? Well, there's no play. Also, I asked my buddy Chris from the Stray Cats if I really should get new axle nuts, because technically these are single use. He said that as long as they don't appear to be stretched or deformed, they should be good. So honestly, this one is good. I'm gonna reuse this. The council of Chris and I have decided that I'm gonna run the axles like this. So I'm gonna just put them. I was having trouble putting the axle in, and I think I know why. So everyone that mentions this axle swap says for you to shim your ABS sensors. Now I'll be honest, I have no idea where those are until now. So this is the E30 axle. I was trying to put on the old one on the other side to see if I was doing anything wrong, but I noticed this ring over here, and I think this is the ABS sensing ring or whatever, and this is right here. And the only reason people would say to shim the sensor is so that something doesn't get caught on it. So I'm thinking something is getting caught on the sensor. So I'm just gonna pull this out and put that in and worry about this later. Yep, so it was hitting right here. There you go, that's where this was hitting. So you gotta shim this, you gotta push that out, which is what I'm trying to do now without breaking it. So you gotta push this out over here and shim it so that it doesn't stick in too much. Thing you need to get if you're gonna do this swap, E30 axle bolts. The TI axle bolts do not fit. All right guys, so what I ended up doing is I got these bolts, the Allen heads, just because the other ones didn't fit properly. These are gonna fit. That's what my SC runs. So, you know, I'll just have two cars running the same style bolt. I don't love these because they can strip, but whatever, just, you know, be careful, don't be an idiot. And then hopefully tomorrow, my friend said that if I have this in the car, it's a lot easier to get the axle in, just because then you can push the hub back instead of hammering on the axle like I was doing, like an idiot. So let's try that tomorrow. Yeah. And if anyone is wondering, this is a bolt that I got, socket cap screw, M10-1550. The 50s come out to about probably like half of this space, so you have plenty of space in here. Also don't know what size these are, so I gotta remember tomorrow to go, you know, get something that I can actually use on this. Top of the morning. So, I have acquired an 8mm hex nut socket. I've acquired 12 8mm Allen screws, M10 thread pitch 1.5, which is a standard, and length is 50mm just because it's like the axle is long. So now let's see if we can get these axles in the car. So I'm starting them by hand, then I'm sending it with the power tool because it's like, I know that the threads are the right size and pitch and everything. All right, so all of the bolts are in, and I'd say they're torqued down. Now let's get this in the diffs so that hopefully I can get the axle in the car. This side is the easy side because there's no obstruction. I do have to go from under the car. It's because of the sway bar over here, but there you go. Wow, that's in. That was nice. And it's definitely torqued down. Let's see if we can't get the axle in. So actually I tried to be clever, but it didn't really work because now the axle is stuck over here. So I might have to pop it off, sort of start it on this side and then put it in again. If I didn't feel happy, I'd feel stupid. This was almost there, so I just pushed this more and then that ended up lifting the whole hub. And then I was able to get this over and down. So now I just gotta lift this to make it sort of level, bolt these down, and then we can start trying to get it into the hub. All right, got those bolts in. Now we gotta hammer this in a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can jack this up to make it more level. Just bang it on. I'm not sure it's going in. It's definitely more in than any other time. All right, well, this was pretty disheartening. Seems like it's just a fitment issue. Like the tolerances or whatever, they just don't work. So I'm just hammering it in. I had a little piece of wood, but the piece of wood was probably too soft because it's definitely too soft, especially because I was getting waterlogged. So I'm just doing this. Taking my mallet and tapping it like around the thing here, and I can actually see, if I keep my head still, I can see that the hub is going in little by little. So literally just doing this. As soon as I can put a nut on there, I'm gonna try and use the power tool. I don't want to keep hitting this because I don't want to like ruin it, but you know, whatever. Well, this day took a very unexpected turn because I actually got it. So I just tapped around the hub over here. When I put the wood on, it really just didn't work because the wood was, you know, just chipping away like crazy. So I just tapped around the hub a lot, and then I just ended up, I put that nut on. I used the impact to tighten that up, and when it wouldn't spin anymore, I put that lock thing over there. Cool. So this one is actually done. I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna do the other side and bolt everything up. I gotta bolt that sensor up. Then maybe we can even take it for a drive today. I've succeeded. So when you're putting the axle in, make sure you jack up the control arm to make sure that the axle is straight. It's gonna give you more leverage. It's gonna be easier to get this to back all the way in. I did have to hammer this a good amount. It doesn't look amazing, but hopefully it won't cause me any issues. I don't think it will. Make sure also to put obviously the axle nut, but the little lock thing, you know, I use my pry bar and then give it a little tap with a hammer just to make sure it's all the way in. Cool. So now what I have to do is I got to put in these ABS sensors. I need to shim them because currently, as it stands, they're going to go in too far and touch the axles. I need to get a shim for this. Probably going to do that in a little bit. I'm going to bolt in the sway bar, install my suspension back up again, and then we can rock and roll. Amazing. So I have my HNR spring over here. I will eventually get the Bilstein shocks to go with it, but for now I don't have the rears. I won't do the front suspension now. I'll do it in a different day, but I really don't want the car to be sagging like it was before, so I'm putting these on. I'm just leaving this sort of tucked in for now, but I took the screw. It's guarded safe. Everything else is bolted in. This is bolted into many Agadugas. I got this bolted in. Everything's bolted on. Awesome. Let's do the other side.
My fault. I had a quick question, bro. I'm sorry to bother you.
No worries.
I do the Omaha beef deliveries over here. I'm all done today.
Yeah.
I got a couple extra orders of steaks, dude. I'm giving them away for cheap, like half price right now.
I'll take one, if that's okay.
I don't do single, you know.
How much you talking?
We do, so it's a wholesale company.
Yeah.
So they typically, like, you know, they do it by like a case at a time. The regular case got 36 cuts. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
it's just like a
All right, the car is all done. I'm gonna take the battery from the Lexus. Oh man, that's a nice shot. Take the battery from the Lexus and we'll go for a test drive. Battery is duly returned. I can't lie, it's been a long time since I've driven this car. I have no idea how it's gonna feel. I'm very, 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 very excited to drive this thing. All right, this is live reaction. Even engaging reverse feels so different because the car would catch. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Dude, I'm so excited. All right, first time that I've ever set off in this car with the new diff. This is crazy, feels like a regular car. Something's wrong with the suspension though. Very bumpy. Oh my God, why is the car so bumpy? All right, so I probably either didn't put the wheel on right, or what's more likely is broke something. Maybe the wheel's just not on straight. I'm gonna pull it out, check it out. Oh yeah, I can see it now. This is crazy. You can see how the wheel is like towed in a lot. Yeah, so all my leg bolts were loose. I was gonna pull out the wheel. I put the impact probably on this one and started unscrewing it, and it just came straight out. And then I realized that over here, I could see a huge gap between the wheel and the hub. So I just tightened this one a lot. It's probably because, listen, I was beating on this side a lot more than the other side. So it mushroomed, right? It's like, you know, it ribbed up a little bit, so the wheel wasn't going on properly. That was absolutely my bad. I just tightened these a lot. That's why I hate lug bolts though, because if these were lug studs, it would be so much easier, right? It would just, I don't know why the Germans decide to do this. One day I will do a lug stud conversion. Let me check the other side. This side is good. The wheel is in full contact with the hub. Here, it's actually not that much. So I will tighten this up a little bit. All right, let's see side number 2. Loose. Loose. Very loose. I could very loose. I really don't know how that happened. So this is why you gotta check your wheels, people. Just always do a little test drive, see what's going on. Because I ugga-dugga this plenty, but it still was loose. So it just always goes to show that you never know. Well, honestly, I have no excuse. Like, there's no you never know that I could say about this. It just, like, I should have torqued them better. So torque them well. Don't be like me. I think the craziest thing about this mod is that I don't feel like I did anything. Like, it feels like the car was always like this. And there's no stop sign going on. It feels like the car was always like this, which is awesome because that's what I want. It kind of feels like the SC now in terms of gear ratio. And that's perfect because the car felt so weird earlier and now it just feels kind of perfect. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. Also, that rattling is gone. Interesting. Oh no, I just heard it a little bit. Yep, there it is. But yeah, this is great. I love it. I'm gonna go put some gas in and drive a little more. So after having to pry off my wheel over here due to someone just banging the hell out of this thing, I went to the store, got a couple nuts over here, but I couldn't put the screw through them because it was threading through the nut and it was too complicated. So basically, I'm just threading the ABS sensor in as if the nut were there. And then if I can, I'm gonna remove this. If not, I'll just leave it there. But basically it's not in all the way. So that should be good enough. I'm not too worried about that. My ABS light comes on, I'll figure something out. Cool, let me put the wheel back on. What's up guys? So as you guys can see, I am currently at 60 and 2,500 RPM. This is absolutely amazing because it means that my 5th gear is 1-to-1. And it's exactly what I wanted. Like, the car drives super nice. It drives stock. I can drive around in 5th and just, you know, chill out. Gonna do a driving video a little later, but I've been so rushed that I just forgot and I don't have time. This is slightly bothersome.